What's up, guys? Alright, so today we're going to talk about how to start a landscaping company or a tree company. They're kind of similar on the startup. Once you get a little deeper into it, they obviously separate quite a lot. There's a vast difference between the two of them. Anyway, guys, I started my company, a tree removal company, about 6 months ago, I'd say. I've only really been running it, and I left my day job about 4 months ago. It was the end of April. So, if you're new now to my channel or whatever, I guess that's a little bit of my background. Anyway, yeah, I'll just explain how I started. Without going out and getting massive loans, guys, and how you can basically just do this while working your part or full-time job on the side. So basically I had a history in the tree business. I've did it for years, and then I took a couple years off out of the forestry industry, or the whole forestry industry. I used to be in a lot of different things, logging, all sorts of different stuff, guys. I've ran heavy equipment, but anyway, I took a couple of years off of that, and I was just doing like regular shitty work, not like low paid work, guys, delivering pizzas, that kind of shit. And I don't know, I just got sick of it, and I decided, and I remember how much the tree companies used to make, like $800 to $3,000 for the average tree removal. And I just thought to myself, I was like, what am I doing, man? I could be out running my own company, charging people, $800 to $3,000 a tree, rather than just, making $200 or $300 a day doing it for someone else. So, yeah, I literally just started small, guys. I had like just a pickup truck, and it was sitting in my front yard, totally dead and useless. So I had this truck I had to look at and know I couldn't even use it to run my company. So I just started getting small tools, guys, like hand shears and stuff. I remember the first thing I did, this before I even registered my company or anything, guys. I just went out and got some like little clippers, hand clippers and stuff, and I literally put an ad on Craigslist and Kijiji, and I think it was like $30 or something crazy small, guys. Like, I went and trimmed this guy's fruit tree for like $30 and did it really quick, and it was awesome. I was like, shit, I just made $30 without relying on an employer. And so yeah, then I started advertising a little more, guys, and I ended up getting a truck, a really good deal on a truck. This was the biggest expense of my company that I had to get at once, and yeah, I built that up and put a big box on it, guys, and then I was able to take on a little bit bigger ones. And then I was just removed. I didn't have any of my climbing gear or anything at this point, so I was basically just doing small jobs here and there, guys, like little trim jobs, trimming people's fruit trees and stuff, a couple $100 here and there. And then I took some of that money, guys, I went and bought a business license for $160, and most of I think the name registration cost me like $30 to buy the company name, and just little things like that, guys. So I was still putting around, just doing small little tree bushes and stuff, guys. But at this point, by the time I had got my business license, so I was able to really heavily advertise in town, because now I was legal and had a business number and all that stuff. And by this point, guys, I was starting to siphon more of my extra money into climbing gear, and I just had an old pull-in chainsaw when I first started, guys, and so I got to do a little bit bigger trees. And then I went out and got myself a nice climbing saw, and guys, this was about 2 months in at this point, guys, from when I decided I wanted to leave my day job and go do this. So about 2 months in, I had been doing small jobs up to this point. I got my business license acquired, got my business number. I'm now starting to advertise a bit. Now I'm doing a little bigger stuff, guys. I got my climbing gear, and at about 2 months, I just had bought my climbing saw and stuff, and that's around when I picked up that video when I left off, guys. That's when I left my job and I went full-time with it. I really started advertising, and I had started getting, you know, upwards of $1,000 contracts, and it just blew up from there, guys. I left my job and went full-time with it. Within 2 months of doing that, I've now been full-time with it for 4 months, guys. I've only really had the company going for about 6 months, so yeah, I'm literally doing multiple quotes a day now, and this all basically and the whole point of this, guys, I started off with little hand trimmers, right? The first job I did it out of my car. I actually happened to work out a deal with the guy where he could save some. He had a truck, and shit on the road out here. I had to go around it. Yeah, he had a truck or whatever, and he decided, hey, like, let's do it for half of what you would charge with it removed, because it was just that little trim job. And then I was like, well, let's do $30. I'll do the work. And then he said that's cool, because it was about a $60 price I would have charged him if I was going to take the stuff away. And anyway, guys, yeah, I didn't even have a truck. I was running out of a car, and I still got jobs. I figured out ways to do it, right? I wrapped them up in a tarp and stuff it in my back seat, guys. Like, this is crazy. These are the lengths you got to go to. These are the things you got to do if you want to go from the bottom up, right? And not wait around for some $30,000 loan. And yeah, guys, so I just saying, this was all while I was working 4 days a week for the first 2 months there, guys. I was literally buying stupid little tools, doing little side jobs, trying to get my name out there. And by 2 months in, I had gained more tools, because I was reinvesting everything, guys, reinvesting everything I had into that. And yeah, I just literally started off with bare bones, guys, next to nothing. Then I got the truck, and then I started doing bigger things. Then I got the climbing gear, and then, you know, you get your license, you get your business name, and by then you can really heavily advertise, guys. And like I said, and then I took the leap of faith at 2 months into that, guys, and I've been going hard for 4 months now. So I just want to show everybody you can literally start off a landscaping or tree removal company with a pair of hand shears and a car, and you can slowly flip your profit over and over and over, reinvest it into your company, guys. And 6 months later, from the first time I trimmed that little tree, that little fruit tree, I'm now doing $2,000 full, you know, 60, 70 foot pine tree removals and stuff, guys. Like, yeah, it's doable. It's doable, and anyone can do it. I like I said, I was working 4 days a week, delivering pizza, guys, and I made something out of that. So if you guys have any questions on how you should go about getting your business license, or what tools are best to invest in first, things like this, I would say for your first tools, guys, you know, don't worry about all the climbing gear and chainsaws and crazy things like that, because, you know, if you only got a couple, like $200 a month to be investing into this startup, guys, every dollar counts, and every dollar spent needs to make back as much as possible out of that dollar spent. So you know, obviously a truck is huge, guys, but basically what I'm saying is don't go out and spend, you know, save up for 4 months to buy an $800 chainsaw, and then, you know, with that $800, now all you have is a car and a chainsaw. You could have bought shears, you could have got, you know, a wheelbarrow, stuff like this. And if you get a big enough job lined up, go rent a truck for the day for $50. You know what I mean, guys? You can outsource small things like that if it's going to be a big contract, and then other than that, stick to what you have. I would definitely suggest your biggest purchase up front over top of gear would be a truck, though, guys, because You can literally have a handsaw and a truck and start a tree company. If you have a car and you're really serious about starting this company, guys, and you're going to dedicate everything in your life to it, and risk everything, trade your car for a truck, guys. Do it. It'll buy you a new car in a couple months, I promise you. But yeah, I don't know, this video, I think I'm more explaining how I did it, but I want to make something else that can better explain it for other guys, like how you should, what you should invest. I would definitely suggest a truck though, guys. A truck is huge. Number one. After the truck, then you can start worrying more about investing smaller, right? Then you can worry about the small hand shears, getting small things like that that are going to add up. Hard hats. You're going to need PPE, guys. So you're going to want to invest in that kind of stuff too, the smaller things. Like I said, rather than an $800 chainsaw, guys, you can go get a bunch of PPE for your crews, personal protective equipment, and you can get a bunch of different clippers. You can, get a tarp or a wheelbarrow, something to move the stuff on. There are a whole list of things, and you can go do a whole lot of jobs with that, guys, rather than just a chainsaw. And then, as you get further, buy yourself a chainsaw. Now you can take on some bigger projects. And then, once you take on those projects, say some fruit tree removals, small tree removals, guys, stuff you're not going to need a bucket truck or climbing gear for, start taking those on, right? So now you've moved up from that pair of hand shears to a chainsaw. And, once you do enough of those, guys, then buy yourself a climbing saw. And, once you got that saw, you can do a little bit of ladder work with it. I would never, ever recommend that. But, that's the first part you're going to need is that climbing saw, guys. And then, start working on getting your climbing gear. Now you're set up to do some climbing drops. And then, once you get up a fucking top and drop, and you can start getting some rigging gear, guys. And now you can start rigging things down above houses and stuff. And then once you get up to that point, you're going to start getting questions about insurance and stuff, guys, once you get into the bigger, heavier removals and the hazard removals. And this is where I was at a little while ago, and I already got the liability insurance for my company. I got $2 million general liability insurance. Don't go jump into that right away, guys. You may lose a couple of customers in your first few months. Some people will ask and they won't want to get work done without it. But I mean, if you're doing small little jobs that are low risk, guys, low to no risk, which would basically be anything that's not a climbing job or something overhanging a house, don't go waste your money on insurance yet. You're not there yet, guys. It's just money that can be placed in a better place at that point. You're not going to lose much over that. It's not going to be worth your time yet. Once you do get into the climbing, guys, and the heavier removals, the more larger things, upwards of $1,000, that's where you're going to want to start thinking about insurance. Not just for the customers, not just for their, what would you want to call it? I guess peace of mind. Yeah, peace of mind. But you're going to want to have that general liability insurance for your own peace of mind at this point, guys, because once you get into those big removals that are, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, they're up at that price range for a reason, guys. We're talking about one mistake, costing $30,000, $40,000 worth of damage on somebody's house. There's houses out there that, you could easily rack up, upwards of $100,000 in damage if you were to drop a whole tree on their house or something. I don't need to go on to the cost of that. I'm sure everybody gets the point. But for that couple $100 a month or whatever you guys can find it for in your area, it'll save your ass. You're basically buying insurance on one mistake not costing you your whole company and possibly bankruptcy. So don't start pushing too big of jobs until you get on that, guys. But at the same time, don't go out and get it until you are pushing on some bigger jobs. With that being said, guys, once you do acquire all this stuff and make it to that level, once you got the truck, once you got the climbing gear, once you got the biz night license, guys, once you got the insurance, now we're talking about making upwards of $10,000 a month easy, guys. And that's doing 3 to 4 projects, which could be 2 to 3 days a piece. So you're now going to be working 10 to 15 days a month, making 10,000 plus a month, guys. You're going to average around $600 to $1,000 a day profit in this industry. It's very rewarding, guys. It's going to be a big challenge. It's going to be a lot of work, guys. You got to give up a lot. You're going to be giving up all of your spare money. You're not going to be going out to the bars. You're not going to be going out clubbing. You're not going to be buying a bunch of new toys with your friends. I would hope you aren't anyway. But anyway, guys, you're going to be dropping every last little cent you got on new gear. I remember I was so close. I would be this far away from having everything I needed for a climbing thing, right? Or to be able to climb. So I'd take that. If I had $200 to my name, guys, I would take $160 and go buy myself a new flip line or whatever, right? And then I'd be able to go do a job with that the next week, and I would make $1,000 on it. So, and then, as much as you want to feel, it'll be exciting feeling, guys, when you're used to making $1,000 every 2 weeks to every month, and you go take a tree off someone's property in 2 days and they hand you $1,000 check. It's a pretty great feeling, guys, and right away you're gonna be like, wow, I just got a month's income in 2 days. You're gonna want to go spend a bunch of it. Don't though, guys. Don't forget what got you that money, and don't forget to reward that and reward your company and reward yourself by reinvesting a good chunk of that back in. Whether it be paying for a little advertising, buying a new piece of hardware, getting some new equipment for the guys, maybe some new rakes, guys. Whatever the case is, whatever you guys happen to get. But even if it's you decide to step up and go get that insurance, whatever it is, invest. Don't just say, all right, well, I'll top up the gas that I used on that job and I'll pay my employees and then the rest is mine. That's it. You got to keep in mind taxes, guys. Put some away for taxes. Put some away for rainy day. Come up with percentages on your own, guys. I would like to put at least 10% away for rainy day fund. Put away 20% for taxes. And then I like to reinvest at least 20 to 30%. So if I make $1,000, guys, $100 is going rainy day fund, $200 is going in the tax fund, and a good $200 is going to go back into the company one way or another, whether it be paying for the truck insurance, getting some new personal protective equipment for the crews, or whatever it happens to be, guys. Maybe run an ad campaign for $30 and buy some other stuff. Regardless, guys, there's a breakdown to the profit, and you don't want to just get all excited and say you burn some gas in your truck and you paid your boys off. You're like, all right, well, truck's gas back up, boys are paid in full, we're back to square one, we're good to go, so I can spend the leftover $700. Well, you're gonna screw yourself real bad doing that, guys. You're gonna get backed up on taxes, or a chainsaw is gonna break down, or you're gonna get a flat tire on your truck. Something's gonna happen and you're gonna be fucked because you're gonna have no money left because you went and blew it all.